Keep going. Keep going.
Hello, healthy friends. This is Terry here with your new moon in Aries forecast for this week. And the new moon goes into Aries on Monday, just after midnight for those of us in the Pacific Northwest. And now we have Mercury in Aries. It went into Aries on April 3rd. So thank God I can finally do my taxes now. And this Mercury in Aries is a really good time for getting mental energy, just getting shit done, which is really good because I'm working on the Bend Health Guide, and this is our final week, and we're doing a whole issue on movement is medicine, and it is time to get moving. This is the month. This is the best moon cycle of all of 2021 to make things happen. And the winds of change are blowing. I'm here at the top of a mountain near the Sisters Mountain in Oregon. And we just rode our bikes up here. And Aries is like, let's go. Let's just get on our bikes and go. You'll be wanting to do more exercise, more movement, and also just get things going in your life. And we have just a whole stellium of planets in Aries right now. All the planets are lining up in Aries. We've got Sun in Aries, Moon in Aries, Venus in Aries, Black Moon Lilith is in Aries, and Eris is in Aries, all the goddess planets, the divine feminine warrior in Aries. And we have Chiron in Aries. Of course, I spoke about Chiron in Aries in the last reading. So if you want more information about the powerful wounded warrior, Chiron in Aries, you could watch the last video. But now we just have all these heavy hitting, especially a butterfly just went by. We have especially the feminine goddess powerhouse, feminine warrior planets that are in Aries. So this is a powerful time for divine feminine and for women in particular. And Aries, of course, is a cardinal fire sign. So this can have a lot of that warrior go to battle. We can see women really rising up and angry about a lot of things, as they should be. There's a lot for women to be angry about right now. But I will say, just a warning with Aries is watch your temper. When you've got all these planets in Aries, you know, let things come up that you're mad about. This is a good time for journaling about it. I like to do, when I get really mad at somebody, I learned this years ago, is to just write the letter, write the email, but don't send it. Don't send it. Really give yourself the time to just think about it. And just write out all your feelings if you're mad about somebody, or even in a relationship, with your partner. Maybe just write it all out, what you're upset about, and then sit on it. And it's amazing. The last time I did this, I can't remember what it was about, but I wrote the email, but I didn't send it, and everything just resolved with that person. It was like a miracle. The next day, everything was fine. And we worked out these differences, and I never even had to send the angry email. So I highly recommend that. And also, if this Aries energy is giving you a temper, just get out and exercise. Do some kickboxing, go ride your bike, take a hike, go for a run, exercise. Aries is just giving us so much momentum and so much energy, but sometimes, you know, that fire is so powerful, and we're standing on this land that was once burned, and just proof that, you know, fire can destroy. And when you have all these planets in a powerful fire cardinal sign like Aries, and it wants to do a battle, and it wants to just burn it all down, let's just burn it. Just like the fires come through and they burn and scar the earth. But, you know, fire in 5 elements, fire also feeds earth. So you can use that fire to feed the earth, and then the fire, everything is reborn. And we've been out here because there's all these wildflowers that are just starting to pop up, and the madronas are in bloom here. And so even if, you know, something burns up, it will be reborn. The fire will feed the earth, and the wildflowers will bloom again. And this is our blooming season this spring, and this month in particular is your best chance to bloom and grow. So really think about, at this new moon cycle, more than any other cycle of all of 2021, take some time to sit with your intentions and really think about what you want. Not just your regular goals of, you know, do this, do that, but really think about, in your heart, what do you want to produce and create this month? Because this will be the time to plant those seeds of intention. And planting seeds, literally and figuratively, I'm going to plant my spring garden on this new moon on Monday. Monday, April 12th is a good time to plant those seeds for whatever you want to grow for this year. And April is really the best month in 2021 if you're thinking about launching a business, publishing a book, anything that you really want to go for it. This is your month. The ram can just, you know, push past any obstacle, and you will have success this month. And especially because we have a Jupiter sextile of the sun, which is like, a sextile is usually like kisses from the cosmos. It gives us little lucky breaks. And when you have Jupiter sextile of the sun in Aries, it's like motivation and expansion. Jupiter will expand anything it touches. So when Jupiter is sextile of the sun, I mean, this is almost as lucky as that Casmi we had a while back. So, you know, put your goals out and just make them happen and get the blessings from Jupiter and the sun sextile. And this new moon, Mars, is also trine Jupiter, and that gives a really interesting competition for money. Mars, competition; Jupiter, money, expansion. And we might see a lot of competition in business. There's so much funding right now that's happening for small businesses and people who are just fighting to get to the top. You know, everybody wants to be number one, get the funds. And then we can also see a lot of fighting, even what we're seeing right now with Congress fighting over funding. What are we going to fund? And even competition for things like resources, like the COVID vaccine. People are fighting to get in to, you know, pushing refresh so that they can get that vaccine. And so this, yeah, when you have Mars competition and Jupiter expanding competition with this trine, I think we'll just be seeing a lot of competition for resources in this next month as well. And then we have, with Moon, Mars, and Jupiter, we have sort of a minor grand trine. And this is actually a really optimistic grand trine. This month we have so much, it's so exciting to have so much positive aspects. We've been through a whole year of really negative aspects, but again, with this grand trine, we get such a positive aspect for making money and abundance and just lucky breaks. But there's going to be, you know, that competition, and who's going to have the highest test scores, who's going to get in, all of that kind of the battle for to be number one and get the money and the resources. But there is this opportunity, and this is a good time to start your business, and you will harvest, you will reap rewards. Anything that is started in this moon cycle, I'm telling you, is going to reap so much rewards this year. So really dig down deep, think about what you want to plant, the new moon seeds, and really go for it this cycle. Even if it's just something that started, even if it's just an idea, there's so much potential with this Aries fire cardinal stellium and this trine with Mars, Jupiter, and the moon, and whew, just go for it. And this minor grand trine between Jupiter, Mars, and the moon can also bring unexpected opportunities to you, just completely a new possibility, something you hadn't thought of. So I have a little experiment I'm going to be trying for this month, and it's hard for me, but I'm going to just try to say yes. Just say yes. Whatever comes your way this month, try to say, yeah, let's do it. Yes, I can do that. I think so often in life in these days, we're all so busy, and we can say, no, I can't do that. No, I'm too busy. No, I can't make it. I can't go to that thing. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't take on another project. But just try, just for this month, because with this lucky minor grand trine between Jupiter, Mars, and the moon, it's really asking you to just say yes. And just see, and maybe some surprise opportunity comes, or some path that you hadn't thought about. And normally you would say, no, I'm too resistant. I have so much resistance about doing that. I don't want to do that. But this month is the month to say yes to anything and everything that comes your way. Even if it's just going somewhere or doing something, it's all going to lead synchronistically to something that is meant for you, I promise. And I did a I Ching reading right before we came out to go bike riding and hiking, and it is just so perfect. I had to write it down, but it is just perfect for this moon. And it is the I Ching number 1, of course, which is so perfect for Aries. Gotta be number 1. But it's the number 1 I Ching, and it's called the Chiron, and it is the flying dragon, which I feel like I could fly away right now. There's so much wind. I hope this is sounding okay. But anyways, the flying dragon that symbolizes great creative power to create something new and unexpected. It just lines so well. And this I Ching is the only I Ching that consists of all yang lines. And what that means, if you've ever studied Chinese medicine, we study the yin and the yang, and the yin is the moon, and the yang is the sun, powerful sun, and the yang is more about, like, you know, getting out there and doing what you need to do and taking care of business. And yang is daytime, you know, busy, masculine, go for it energy. And so this I Ching is fueled by all yang signs. It's a hot, fiery energy, just like Aries. But just as this flying dragon flew too close to the sun, because he wanted to become the sun, right? So the dragon flew high in the sky, aiming himself towards the sun, and he burned up. And this I Ching is just so perfect for this Aries stellium, because you have to be so careful not to yang out. I call it yanging out. Yanging out is like, you've had a bunch of coffee and you have all these ideas and you're, you know, thinking all these thoughts, you're going to do all these things, and then you take on too much, and maybe you say yes to too many things, and you just yang out. You get for me, I get a headache, and my head gets really hot if I yang out. And so if you're doing too much, or you're taking on too much with all this Aries stellium and all this yang energy, one thing you can try is to just put your feet in a nice hot foot bath. And remember to get back down, to root down, really ground down into the earth. And remember that a tree can only grow as high as its roots dig deep into the earth. And so when you see a tall tree, like the trees these giant ponderosa pines we have here, as high as that tree is growing high, its roots must sink down deep into the earth. So stay rooted, my friends, and you can reach for the stars with all these great opportunities this month, and you'll have all the energy to accomplish all your goals. And you'll also want to stay connected and grounded to the earth so that you don't fly so high that you get burned. And you don't want to become like a hot air balloon that is out of control, like the fire. When you do too much heat and too much fire on a hot air balloon, you know, you could just go flying off. And so there may be so much potential to create everything you've ever wanted this month, and that's a beautiful thing. But know that you don't have to do it all this month. You can just really sit with the potential and take your time in actually manifesting it. And there's so much energy coming in this month that you might feel like you can't control it all. So hold some of your power in reserve for the whole year. You have until the fall to harvest. And this month, the theme is, if you can believe it, I swear you can achieve it this month. And the dragon is finally soaring high in the sky, and things are on the getting better. And it's a really good sign that our collective power is growing in a positive way. And just like the flowers in our garden that are getting ready to bloom, so too are we blooming this spring. And this is the month. This is the month to decide what is it you want to bloom, and make it happen and go for it. Go out and get everything that you desire this April, and then get ready, because in May all these planets, all the big planets, I think Saturn and Mercury and all of them are going to go retrograde. So we have 1 month. It's like we're running a race and we have a month to run the race, and then it's all going to stop. So go get it, but also reserve your power. Thank you, and have a wonderful lunar cycle. I'll see you again at the full moon for another reading, so like and subscribe so you can stay tuned. I just had one last parting thought as we were hiking around these burnt trees here in Sisters, and it really made me think about this whole 2020 COVID horrible year, and how similar it is to the fires that we also had here in Oregon last year in 2020, and the trauma, and so many people experiencing so much trauma last year. And I was just inspired by this tree, this ponderosa pine that was completely engulfed in flames and fire and burned to this blackened coal. But this tree will survive. And this tree has this beautiful green above, and it's still growing. And we are like that tree. And for this tree, whatever trauma occurred here, whatever massive fire happened, it will just be one ring on the tree. As you've seen the tree's rings, and you can see where the fires happen, it just becomes one black ring on the tree. And I was just thinking, wow, 2020 will just be one black ring on the tree of our lives as well. And we will go forth, and we will grow again, and we will create. And this is the time, at this new moon Aries, is the time to begin to grow again, despite the fact that we might be charcoaled and blackened from last year. It is time to reset, rebirth, and just start moving forward again.
Alright, I'm racing Terry and Liam down the hill here. We'll see who gets down there first, or if I can even catch up. Yeah.